Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. It's your host, Simon McGinnis of the Journey Faith Podcast. And yes, we are back for another exciting, amazing episode. This week, it gives me great pleasure to welcome great friends of mine from the Clarenville area, Brad and Melinda. Welcome. So good to have you. I know we've been talking about this for so long, and we finally got to do it.
Yes.
So we met a number of years ago when my family and I owned a cabin in Hillview, Newfoundland, which is just outside of Clarenville. And one day we happened to go to the local Clarenville farm market, and you guys were there. And that's where we met. And then we continued building our friendship. And now here we are. And who knew that this
Wow.
would happen? And Brad, you're a country music singer, and I've been following your music for a long while now, ever since we met. And then Mel, you have Keto Noof. Why don't you both of you tell a little bit about what you do, and then we'll get right into the podcast.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll start her off. Well, I'm a country music sensation, I'll call it, eh? Anyway, yeah. My passion was to be a country music singer. I grew up in a music inclined family myself. So I did get a lot of help as a kid, I guess. Through the years, playing around different venues and one thing to the other. Did it for years, and I took a break from it for a little while, and then me and Melinda back in 2012, uh, I separated from my first marriage and met up with my wife now, Melinda, and yeah, so I think my music came back after I met Melinda. She was really inspired by it, and actually, I sent her a song that I sang to her before I even met her, and she just fell in love with that. So, but anyway, yeah. So coming together for two of us, it came a music. I don't know. They call us a music sensation, I guess. She does a lot of my writing and stuff. With I help her too. I do some writing myself. And but I always write a song and say, Melinda, can you just look this over and she'll find something or
Yeah.
whatever. But that's what it's all about. So yeah, and so I did write a few songs, and I've so I haven't been lucky enough, I guess, or whatever, winning a few awards. I won uh, song singer of the year in it and the ISSA, and I won a couple of awards over in the Red Carpet Awards last year that came over from Holland. That was tremendous. Song of the year, male vocals of the year. I won those two awards, and then I got a one come the summer of country artist, one of the country artists for 2023, and one of the radio shows on the states. There, I was one of the country top artists for the year, and so it's coming along really good. And like I said, I can't no one to thank really only my wife, and she really supported me along this journey, and that's what you really need is just support from your family, and I couldn't ask for much better than that. And I got lots of close, good musical friends that really helped me out, and like I said, all the disc jockeys and stuff, radio shows for playing my music.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. So
And then as we were reminiscing at the beginning of the podcast before we jumped on air, you were sharing about your newest accolade and coming all the way from the UK, and
yes,
yeah, well,
yes. So
congrats. Like,
thank you. I just came actually, yeah, we just came from another meeting, and when I came home to open up my Facebook, I just got a thing here from the UK. It was the FRH radio, and it was the country song of the month for Waylon and Merle. So country artist of the month. So it was good for
there
Waylon
you
and
go. So the accolades keep building up. So
just keep
Mel,
coming.
what why don't we talk just a brief bit before we jump into our meeting of the podcast? But tell us a little bit of Keto Noof and how that came about.
Keto Noof started in 2020 when I decided, well, actually 2019, when I decided that I had to take my own health more seriously, and I started developing my family's recipes into something more healthier. So I started posting pictures on Facebook and whatnot, and we had a huge following that people were inspired by what we were doing and the foods we were creating. And next thing you know, they were in my inbox asking for food to be delivered because the stores were shut down. They couldn't get any healthy product. And we jumped in our vehicle and went from Grand Falls to St. John's, stopping at different points in the highway, dropping off healthy foods to help these people become healthier, easier. And the company has just been exploding ever since.
Wow. So both of you have quite some accolades behind you, some good success. And let's get into the main reason why we're here tonight. And why don't both of you share a little bit about your faith journey and kind of like your earliest memories of your faith journey?
Well, I remember always growing up. There was times like Sunday afternoon, you'd have to go to Sunday school and all that kind of thing. I spent, I say 15 years maybe as a brownie leader in our school, in our church at home. But since I came out here, I've kind of been leaning more toward a spiritual journey and not so much as a religious journey. Um, I like to include everyone, and some of the religions don't include everyone. So I'm more of a faith follower, we'll say. And so it's always been a journey. I've always been a spiritual person, but now it's becoming more in the light.
Right on, right on. Yeah, and we each have our own journey and the way we find our faith. And sometimes it's not necessarily in the church, but we end up doing good things like you guys have been doing and trying to help people out the best way that we feel. And so, yeah, thanks for sharing. What about you, Brad? Do you have any comments on this?
No, not really, not the spiritual side of it. I mean,
Okay.
I've got my spiritual beliefs or whatever, and like Mel said, we'll keep that. I'll keep that to myself. But I mean, yes, we all got faith or whatever, and I do believe in that stuff. But get back to myself or where I got to. Like I said, I grew up in a spiritual family as well. Okay, so my family was a religious family or
Right.
whatever. It was wonderful. Like I said, and usually a lot of that comes from musical talent as well. They
Oh,
all
it does. It does. Yeah.
so it got passed on to me from my mom and mom's brothers and whatever, my dad's side and stuff as well, and so I just kept. I think I was 5 years old when I got my first guitar. I was left-handed, so but I learned to play it right-handed.
Okay.
So a lot of people say, "Well, how do you do that?" Well, I said, "Well, it's easy. We can do that." But yeah, so then I carried on with the music career and I done some mining and stuff. And now, like I said, I'm back again doing the music. And it really started off when it got really big for me when the COVID actually struck. I started doing some live casts like a lot of people did. Like, the only
Right.
way to
Yeah.
do music or whatever, there was no shows. So you go do some live streaming. And I built a lot of great fan base there, a lot of wonderful friends. And and thank each and every one of them now for still hanging on there and voting for me and one thing the other. So it's all good. Yeah, I don't want my glasses up. My glasses up,
Yeah.
down, up, down. I'm
Down,
like
up,
this
down.
all the time. But
Yeah.
yeah, so and I did some good shows. We had a good summer in Corner Broken stuff, which was really good. We had a good show over there. And now I'm doing a one actually in the March 9th now coming up at Clarenville Event Center.
Okay.
A classic country show there with Brad Simmonds and the Good Old Boys, and yeah, so that's going to bring some classic country to you. Some a little newer. I'm a Waylon and Moreau type guy, but I can also do a bit of Cody Jinks and Creed Fisher and that stuff too. So
Right.
come and check out the show and see what surprises we can give you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, what in your life, when did you guys start realizing that there was something different to life, and you had to start realizing, well, maybe this was the change that made us where where we are, and where we're heading.
I think it was during COVID, I think things got really serious. I know that it was a bad time for some people, and it caused a lot of things, but to us, I think it made us realize what was more important in life and put those priorities ahead of other things that we were doing, and refocus our energies.
Right on, right on. And then you've been doing so much good things between your music and Keto Noof and helping people out. And one of the things that I kind of picked up on that was really interesting is that you had a shift in your health, and you really wanted to change that. And then because of that, you've been able to help so many other people change their health. And that's one of the things that's really important in our life, is that our health and our physical being is more important than anything else. And if that's not in line with something, then who knows? Maybe our journey on this earth will take us elsewhere, and it won't be good. And we'll go deal with sickness and stuff like that. But through what you're doing, creating these meals, and you, Brad, creating music, it heals. It heals both physically and emotionally and socially.
That's for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I dropped when we were doing the keto. I dropped 80 pounds doing keto, and I felt phenomenal, phenomenal. I mean, like anything, like I gave up a little bit. Not really. I still eat healthy type thing, but kind of have a few extra treats that you wouldn't have before. So you
Right.
got to put a couple pounds back on or whatever, but I still feel good. I mean, I'm 56 years old. I take nothing, no drugs, no medicine, no nothing. And, it's a couple of visits that I visit nurses or doctors or whatever, and they say, like, wow, even at your age, there's a lot of people that takes a lot of things for health.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that it was all through keto or whatever, maybe some of the things, but I'm sure that eating this keto for the last 3-4 years now, eating all the healthy foods, throwing away the sugars, which we know is poison anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, I might get sick tomorrow, but that's something we don't know.
Exactly.
But now, my doctor says I'm perfectly bill to bill. So,
And my passion became one of mind, body, and spirit. So it wasn't just about getting healthy. It was also about, like you say, your social connections, your journey. And it's not only just about what you're putting in your mouth, it's also what you're letting come out. And it's been a wild ride, because
Yeah.
there's some people that come into your life for a season and are gone again, and you think that things happen, but they're just there for learning lessons. And once you realize that they're a part of your path and a part of your journey, then you're able to move on.
Right, absolutely. So we're coming down the last end of our time together, but I wanted to leave our listeners with, if they didn't hear anything from the previous part of our podcast, what would be a kind of a life lesson or key takeaway that someone could go with from your time on Earth so far, whether it be you, Brad, in your music, and some of the struggles that you've had and some of the learning curve you've had, and the same thing with you, Mel, in getting to this healthy journey of keto and finding this new sense of spirituality and all that.
well, what I find with the music part of it, uh, the music is a business, but it's the type of business that you need everybody to help each other with. Like, you got a lot of good musicians out there that help you along with things like you need to know something or whatever. Everybody's there to help, and I find that really phenomenal. That it's type of business is not if you get on Facebook or you get somewhere and you got a bad comment or somebody left you something, you're getting famous. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's what it
Yes.
seems like. It's like, there's a bit of jealousy there or something. But I don't find that too much, which is really good, really great. like I said, I got a lot of good connections out there. And if anybody is enticed or at a young age or is never too old, like I said, I'm 56 years old. I'm starting this journey. I'm like Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson was what, 55 or something before he decided
Right. Yeah.
on the road, you know? And I am 56. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now. You know, I got a job besides that
Right.
job that I do. You know, you just can't cut it with all
No.
music, you know. But I got a seasonal job to fall back to. And in the wintertime, I spend more on my job, a little bit on my music. But summertime, I try to create, you know, a lot more music and stuff. I have a bit more time, but
Right.
music is my passion, that's for sure.
And I always say, I didn't come this far to only come this far, which means your struggles are in your past and you use them as learning blocks and you build a foundation to go further. So my thing would be to tell everyone that I didn't come this far to only come this far. It's all about your journey.
Yeah, that's such a great way for us to be thinking on and to go forward. And guys, I want to thank you for sitting down with me and sharing your journey of where you've come from and where you're going to, and both Brad Simmonds Music and Keto Noof. Guys, if you want to learn more about these, reach out to myself. You can definitely find them on Facebook. You can Google them and get hooked up with them.
All my music is on Spotify and stuff as well, and iTunes. Like I said, I got a Facebook page here. Anybody's welcome to join. Brad Simmonds Country Music page, and so
excellent. So, folks, that does it for another exciting episode of The Journey of Faith. And thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you on the next great episode. Thanks. Have a great night. Blessings. Bye.
Thank you so much.